So back in 1981, I had been out all night at a local bar, and I was feeling really, really high. More than high on life, I was high on everything. You would say that I was intoxicated. And so I'm going down the road, and the state trooper pulled me over with his blue light special, and he wanted to just let me know that my lights weren't on. And so all I would have had to done at the time, all I would have needed to do was to say, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to remember to keep my lights on. But oh no, I started dramatizing, fearitizing, letting him know, being argumentative. Why are you here? Why are you picking on me? And playing victimhood. So I got to go down to the station and get kind of locked up and locked in for the night. Are you with me? Do you understand where I'm going? Because the event and the events that are happening in your life, they're really a divine invitation to tell you, you need to turn your lights on. Don't you remember this is the reason that you were born? Don't you remember your soul agreed to be here right now during this time? Your soul probably already knew we were going to have a pandemic in 2020 when people were adjusting their vision. Remember to turn your lights on. Turn your lights on. In 1992, I wrote a statement. This is the greatest moment that you and I have ever lived. We have never been better or greater or more alive than we are right now. And as long as we believe there was a better yesterday or tomorrow holds for us some guarantee, we're missing out on the greatest moment that we've ever lived, and that's right now. For right now is where we have the power, yes, to change our minds, to make a new decision, to let go of something that we no longer want. Years ago, the unity principles were established. What we believe in science of mind were established. It doesn't mean you use it on special occasions, my friend. It means that you keep saying it. The issue isn't what we're saying. The issue is you believing in what you're saying. And so you have to sometimes dig deeper. You have to let something get a hold of you. You got to keep saying this is the greatest moment that you and I have ever lived. You can't say, well, I'm going to pick this up after the new year because right now I can't see it. Your growing is to dig into it right now. We have too many faith-based moments into the external instead of faith within ourselves. Your issue isn't trusting others. Your issue is you don't trust yourself. If you trust yourself, you're not even talking about trusting others. Because even if someone let you down, you would let them go. Or you would be open enough and be a grown-up and be an adult to love them deeper in. You understand what I'm saying? So when we use these beautiful statements and glorified things filled with information, we want to check in and say, more than ever, this is the time I'm supposed to use this. We want to go back to the basics. We want to go back to what we believe, you see. You know, people say, well, I don't know if I have faith. Well, look at your life, identify everything you see, and that's what you had faith in. So if you say people keep letting me down, that's what you have faith in. If you say, oh, it's just one thing after another, that's what you have faith in. Oh, I start out with a lot of money to start the month, but by the end of the month, I have more month than money. That's what you have faith in. Wow, that's what you have faith in. Yes, it's that particular space. So change what you have faith in. Command what you have faith in. Identify what you have faith in. Wow, we wouldn't even be here if Myrtle had faith in the fact that everybody that has tuberculosis dies. We wouldn't even be here if Ernest Holmes bought into the belief that unless you have a college education, you can't start a movement. He graduated from the 7th grade. What did they have faith in? Their purpose. The faith in what they taught. We don't need to keep doing watered down metaphysics. You can't straddle a fence. It will cause you pain. Step in. You know, step in deeper, step in further, right? It's that space. I interviewed a woman, Darlene Green, on the radio show this past week, And I love what she said. It just really stuck with me, that enlightenment is not a destination. Enlightenment is a platform for your creation. Right? Enlightenment is not a destination. It's a platform for your creation. Turn your lights on. Something happens, go, thank you. I dim my lights. I need to brighten them again. This is not a dress rehearsal. I am energized, you see. When we look at life itself and we look at how we can change our faith, and we can get into faith of things and questioning and wondering and pondering and getting further and further into victimhood, you see. And we start letting the not so pleasant, the lower vibration of stress take us over. And then we find a committee to agree with us. Never seen times like this. Have you? Oh my God, whoever thought it, and I don't even know. What are we going to do? And then we got this other thing happening in a few days, and oh my gosh, and it's just, the ain't it awfuls, you know? I don't usually use, but that's it's a bilingual Southern English term that comes out. So in that space, in that energy field, it's like we start allowing stress to take over. And we want to step back and look at things multidimensionally. If you are a healthy person, you learn to look at things not just one way, but 7 or 8 different ways in your life. What have I had to eat? How the chemicals changed in my body? What have I been watching on the news? What have I been filling my mind with on the television? What have I been languaging with friends and people? Richard Carlson, I used to represent his material for many years here and abroad. And, one of the things he said is that it was amazing that most couples decided to get a divorce because they tried to work out things when they were both in a bad mood. You with me? They were in a bad mood. And when we get into these stressors, we want to check, what is my mood right now? And when we're languaging, and when we're making decisions, and when we're setting new policies, and when we're managing people, or when we decide to have a team meeting and clear the air, that's the first thing you want to check. What mood am I coming from right now? Am I coming from my faith of what I believe is possible, or am I coming from a smaller vibration? Does this work for you, or are you identifying with that? Because the mood is, I don't know how many times in my marriage that either one of us had said, well, we have a mood going on, let's pick this up next week. Let's pick this up next week. No, people want to wait, and they're already there, and they go, and by the way, those things you've been doing for 40 years, that aggravates me too. No, you step back. This is the greatest moment for me to get deeper in. This is the greatest moment for me to love more. This is the greatest moment for me to turn my light on. This is the greatest moment for me to do a check. How am I shining? And how am I impacting those around me? The other thing is that we get into too much analysis paralysis. We want to figure it out. I don't know why this is happening to me. I don't know why. Do you know that in one Indian tribe, they don't even teach the children the word why? They don't learn. Why is not a word in their language. And you look at so many people, why? And even if you finally got the right answer that you thought was the answer you could live with, it probably isn't the answer. It could be something that happened to you many incarnations ago. It could be something that you've chosen to develop you, and so you may never identify with the why part. You may never really know why you've had certain experiences in your life, but that's where you put your faith. You put your faith in the part that this is going to make me. This is going to open me up. This is going to break me out. You don't spend your life being argumentative with your Creator about why. Because you will start to understand that that's where the undercurrent of pain and struggle lie the most. Are you with me? Yes. And so it's that particular space that we become aware of. You know, it's like one of my good friends, we hang out together sometimes. She's turning 84 tomorrow. And she says to me, you know, people are complaining about wearing a mask or that they have to stay home a little bit. Well, they ought to have been a child where many people were during World War II. You know, what is occurring is that, a little bit of inconvenience for a greater reality of what we're going to be able to see, yes? Yeah. And so rather than looking at the 2-3 things that are wrong about it and continuing to invest your faith into that, step back and go, I am so grateful. I am so grateful that even though I'm not traveling right now, we can Zoom in the grandkids. Oh, I'm so grateful that I can connect with people all over the world. My eye is for all of you. I'm so grateful that I can see my family. I'm so grateful that my work can be Zoomed through everywhere, all over the world. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful that I'm the one that was chosen to be here during this time, because I'm going to bring everything I have to see how that we get on the other side of this, because we will. And we will be better. And we will be more alive. And we will be more dynamic as a culture than we have ever been. We will stop being a divided house. And we will start integrating a greater truth of this world. We will transform in education, in spirituality. It will all push us. It will push us to the next level. Like Myrtle pushed people when she said, you don't have to die from tuberculosis. Look here. You can double your life expectancy. Wow. Where would we be if she had her faith in the wrong things? The faith you are to follow is in you. I can't tell you what it is. I just know it when I see it. I know it when I feel it. It's like in 2020, you know, people are still teaching children that, you know, God is a man. I love men. Some of my best friends are men. It's good with me, but not about God. I don't want to teach people that God's a girl or a woman. I don't even think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. I think that it's one of the worst things that we continue to do in our humanity, that we teach younger beings that God is a person so that they spend their lives knowing that something they're calling on can exceed any person that they've ever known. How does that work? It doesn't. It doesn't. Because when you attach a gender onto God, you attach a personality onto God. You attach a faith in all the men and women in the world that have abandoned you, that have rejected you, that have let you down, that have disappointed you. So you can do frou-frou, put bumper stickers on your car about God is infinite, and you can do everything. But until you change your faith and you know that God is not a person but a principle, that is just waiting for you to declare your light, then your life will be more of the same. When do we stop this training and programming to keep people itsy bitsy little bitty itsy people? Now. We change it now. We change it while people are preoccupied. We change it while people are going, I'm waiting to hear about the newest vaccine. We change it while people are in this space, and we step into this and go, let us really teach you about a creator. But more than just words, as the Daily Word said this morning, by our action. Our action. Yes. I get so passionate about this because we are to be in the world but not of the world. Where is that message? We're to be in the world but not of the world. Right? And as long as we stay from that place in detachment, the answers will come. Our light will be revealed. The stories will change. But it's necessary for those of you that are out being God promoters to think about the kind that you are promoting. Don't brand God a person. Brand God all possibility. all possibility. So you can be energized by that when you say, I'm here to express that. I'm here to express that infinity. I'm here to express something I don't know about myself. I'm here to express my vulnerability. I'm to express that I make mistakes, but I am not a mistake. I'm here to express in that light. You see. So the other thing that we do is we do the power of acceptance. Of acceptance. Acceptance. I'm going to seize this moment. You know, my husband and I, we're not doing so well. I'm going to seize the moment. I'm going to remember my vows. I'm going to remember the decisions I've made. I'm going to remember the people I'm impacting that I'm modeling in front of. I'm going to seize this moment. I'm going to go have some therapy. Therapy is just as important as supplements. It's necessary for our lives, for all of us to check in and get spiritual direction. Whatever is going on is you take advantage of the situation and you put your whole selves in. You dig deeper. You put your faith into knowing. It's the struggle that keeps making it hard. It's the denying of what's happening that makes it hurt. It's the stepping in it that brings you joy, because then your solutions start coming, you see? Wherever you are right now, there is absolutely no acceptable reason that you are lonely. There's phones, there's Zoom clubs, there's groups, there's meetup groups, and it's called Nobody Will Know Unless You Let People Know. And if you want to transcend your life with abundance, with attitude, with experience, with a new kind of God, surround yourself with those people that you aspire to be like. And check in with the group of people you're in the boat with, because that's as good as it gets. And you measure people in your life, not with judgment, but with discernment. And you look at those people and you say, wow, who's prosperous? Who's really prosperous? Who's my global traveler in the group? Good. Need 2 or 3 of those. Who's the person that's in a healthy relationship? Don't you love it when people say they want to be in a healthy relationship and they hang out with only people that don't want to be in one? I'm sorry, that's messed up. You want to be in a relationship, have a couple of couples that are your new homie besties that you hang out with so you can just breathe that in and you'll have one, right? If you want to create and be talented, hang out with talented people. You want to stretch, hang out with people that you will allow to stretch you. Every now and then we have a meeting in my house and go, what team, who do we need to add to our team? Who do we need to add to our team? Because we're ready to grow another level. You can still keep the other people, but you continue to expand yourself. And you look in your life, and your faith is only as great as everybody that you hang out with. I'm just saying. Right? Everything and everyone. It can be your animals too. You know? I mean, I've got one of the most self-focused dogs on the planet. But he teaches me that every now and then it's okay to do some self-care. You see what I mean? So you want to hold sacred this, because this is not a time anymore that we can just get by. This is not a time in our society that those of you that are wise want to hang out on the sidelines. You need to come out. This is not a time that you can speak confusion or inconsistencies. This is a time to shine your light. This is a time to be pure. This is a time that people can see by your action what you really believe and who you really are. Too much talking. Too much blah, 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 blah. Too much of that. Show us. Show us. Not just with your posters on Facebook. We want to see it. See how you're living. See what you're believing. See what you stand for. Right? I love in the story about Queen Elizabeth, that as she was at her coronation, she asked her grandmother. She said, I'm trying to decide, am I Elizabeth the person today? Or am I Elizabeth the queen? And her grandmother looked at her and said, "You will be deciding that every day of your life." And I ask you the same question for you to look at. Am I going to get so involved in my psychology and my personality? Or in addition to that, am I going to remember who I really am? This infinite voice reality of the divine. Am I going to take a stand and know that this is the truth? And so it shall be, and so it is. Bless you on this amazing journey we call life. God bless you.